How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the SDF Bros podcast.
Hell yeah.
But we're not feeling too happy.
Not really.
How are you feeling though?
I mean, personally, okay.
Okay.
After the game, shitty.
Yeah, I hear it.
I ruined my good vibes.
Yeah, the day was feeling good, right? It was a sunny day, early kickoff, everything like that, and fortunately the result didn't go our way. But we're here to talk about the game. Guys, if you guys are new here, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Check us out. Links in the description below. Instagram, TikTok. And yeah, let's just jump into it, right?
Just jump into it.
All right, so this was a standard lineup, right? Off of coming from Toluca and everything like that. We were really looking to kind of bounce back after a couple negative results, right? And then Dallas in the league as well. I just want to start off, right? Was there someone in particular that you wanted in this lineup to be playing?
I kind of wanted to see, well, I mean, I hate to use my own words, but I kind of wanted to see Morgan playing. Just a little bit more. And maybe even Soma instead of Vasquez, but I kind of understood the reason that was the starting 11, you know.
No, I definitely think, like, you know, we wanted to see a positive reaction. I think a player that I think would have really helped in this game from kind of minute number one is Godoy.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, just having his kind of like veteran leadership like in the middle is something like we needed, and I feel like Vasquez like just wasn't offering that like defensive press that like we needed and that defensive presence that we all know. Like I feel like this team just plays way better in like a double pivot kind of style of midfield, right? Rather than having like an offensive option like Valakari and Vasquez up top, where I feel like we were just really toothless out the back, right? We didn't really have like that like grit to really defend or to really challenge or anything like that. So I feel like Godoy maybe would have been a lot better of an option. I can understand why you play Vasquez because he's had a couple really good games versus Toluca, a little hot streak, so you kind of want to keep that momentum going. But I think in this one, right, when you're about to go to the international break, right, where you have 2 weeks off, you got to play your starting 11. You got to play your strongest team and your strongest players. And I feel like that moment, I feel like when I saw Vasquez, I was like, okay, that's a little interesting. We're going to go maybe a little bit more of an offensive kind of style. So let's talk about the first half. SDFC, they do concede first. And off the rip, again, like it just looked like we were not in it and we just weren't concentrated. You saw the goal, just a lack of pressing to challenge the player, and he's able to have enough time and space to get off that cross, and he's able to put in a wonder header and putting it into the side net. So any kind of thoughts like for that first goal? It was pretty early, like how you said.
Yeah, I think what was interesting about that goal is just how quick it came from, not how fast in the game it came, but realistically, like Salt Lake wasn't really doing much, and that goal just happened kind of out of nowhere. You know, it's not like Salt Lake had been pressuring us for a while that you felt was going to come. It was just something that since Salt Lake was able to honestly make out of thin air. And I think it was just, like you said, lack of like pressure, lack of grit, hunger to just be making those extra runs or being on that player a little extra to make sure those things don't happen. But it really does come out of nowhere. And I mean, it's a beautiful header. But yeah, I think even after that goal, you expect San Diego to see to, I don't know, have more like hunger in it or kind of like go for it more. And it really doesn't even turn out to be that way.
Yeah, no, definitely. I really wanted to see a really good defensive effort, especially because Toluca put 4 past us, right? And in the previous game, you know, we got conceded on 3 times by Dallas. So I was really looking for this team to have a more emphasis on defending in this game. And I mean, Chris McVay, right, put that one post on social media, oh, I can't wait to be back, and Snapdragon and everything like that. Well, it didn't really look like they wanted to be back.
Right.
You know, like that's just kind of how I don't want to have like a negative connotation on it, but you know, I'm kind of just seeing, or rather I'm just talking about how I interpret it. Right, so it's like that's kind of just like how it felt, but it's like for me, it's like how I like to prioritize defending. It didn't even look like we cared about defending in this game.
No, I agree.
Like the lack of like discipline and the lack of pressing to even just challenge, right, to make it at least somewhat difficult for Salt Lake to even put in a cross was just not there whatsoever. So we would miss a couple chances early on in the half as well. Vasquez got that one chance saved, but 10 minutes after that goal we conceded, we would go back and score in the most typical MLS goal ever, right? Just a couple bobbles in the box and just somehow, some way it finds its way in the back of the net. Was that something that was that something that like you were kind of like looking at to be like, okay, maybe we could be in trouble because that's the way that we score our goal?
I wouldn't say that that was like the way that it was like troubling to say the least. I just think that like that's just a frustrating way to score. It just goes to show, and I think to your point too as well, like the way we kind of celebrated that just kind of makes it feel like even more frustrating. Like we're down one, we score a really just like bobble goal. That's not it's not time to celebrate. You know, it's almost more like, okay, this isn't enough of what we want. You know, like you said, this isn't our that like it shows the headspace that they're in, that goal is enough. You know, and it's just like I hate to see a team celebrate or anybody celebrate when you're down one. That goal isn't celebration. That's a goal to get to the next level. And
Right.
you know, yes, you can celebrate. Yes, there's stuff like that, but it's just like get back into form and let's keep going. But really, that goal just came out of nowhere, and I was just hoping for something. I don't know. I think if it was a better goal, then there would have felt
Oh,
like more. It
certainly.
would have felt like, okay, maybe we do have this in the bag, maybe this and that. But because it feels like that, it just kind of was kind of a statement or like a statement of like what the game was gonna be. Honestly,
Yeah, no, certainly. And I 100% agree with that, right? And now, like, it kind of has me, like, questioning. It's like, where is this team's, like, mentality at? Like, are we, like, content with scoring goals like that? Like, of course, like, I'm always, like, one of those people, like, I don't care how it goes in, but it's, like, in the circumstance of the game, how, right, how you were saying you're down a goal and you probably score. That's probably the worst goal SDFC has ever scored,
right?
right? So it's like, and especially because of like what the lead up to this game was kind of feeling like. Mikey Vadas was saying how it's like we need to bounce back and like we need a reaction and this, that, and the third. And it's like I just felt like there was no reaction. Like I felt
Exactly.
like it felt like we didn't get our asses kicked to Toluca 3 days prior. It looks like we didn't blow a 2-0 lead to Dallas a week prior to that. So it's like it really had me questioning. It's like, where are we at? Like, do we really just think like we're top shit now? Because to me, it's like we haven't even proved ourselves.
No, I don't think it's like that. We feel like we're top shit. I think it's just like, to your point, that there's just no reaction from the two situations that came. It's not like
Right.
it's almost like we're just gonna play it easily or we're just gonna be confident with that. When it's like, okay, like it is kind of frustrating to see like twice back to back like situations like that happen, and you would assume that from a team that's going into an international break that this would be the bounce back game, but it just seems like it isn't, and so it leaves us with a week long to sit and fear that our next game versus San Jose is going to be tough. And
Right.
I don't know, I would feel more confident if we beat Salt Lake. You know what I'm saying? But it is going to be a hard bounce back to come from.
No, certainly. And it's one thing, right, to win a game not playing your best shows that it's like you're able to not really play up to your ability and you're still able to kind of persevere and get the
Right.
3 points. But now like it's a whole completely different narrative. Whereas it's like now the same thing repeated twice in a row where we're up a goal, or rather in Dallas we're up 2 goal, in this game we're up 1 goal, and it's like you have that lead going into the tail end of the match, right? And I know I'm kind of going a little bit ahead. We still have to talk about Dryer's
Yeah.
goal and everything like that, so let's quickly review that and
Yeah.
everything like that, and then go into
Politics.
yeah. So the style of play in this game, it looked like it looked like I wasn't watching SDFC. I'm gonna be real. Like we did not look positive on the ball. We were sloppy in possession, and it would lead into RSL creating dangerous opportunities for them to get the lead in this game, right? And it's like there was a couple moments where that one Manu Dua goal line save, right?
Right.
Where if his left foot is half a foot to the left, then that goal goes in, and who knows what we're talking about
Exactly.
from there. So it's like, what was your kind of thoughts when you saw like SDFC kind of like lose possession, and it's like maybe we're kind of just beating a dead horse here because we're probably just gonna constantly say, oh, there's no hunger, there's no like, but it's like, do you think like that kind of stems from something?
I don't really know what it would stem from anyways, because I understand why maybe Dallas's game we lose that. I can give them the benefit out of the doubt because we're looking forward to Toluca's game. I understand why we lose Toluca's game, the elevation, this and that. But I think this game is the one where we really start to talk, because it's like there really isn't much of an excuse that we can give. One, and then two, it's just like, yes, I understand that like maybe we're just on a really bad like mental thing because of the Dallas Toluca game. We kind of just wanted to play this game easy before going into the international break. Maybe that's the case, but realistically, it's just like, I think the fans wanted more, and San Diego FC should have given more. But it's just really hard to feel, because it's like we don't really know what's going to happen into the next round. We really don't at all. Like, just because we've seen a very great San Diego FC, and now we're seeing a very...
Yeah, I mean, it's giving shades of April of last year.
I wouldn't say it's that bad. It's just it doesn't seem like confident.
Yeah, I've been seeing sophomore slump be thrown around, and it's like, look, I'm not here to say like, oh, we're in sophomore slump. I think it could potentially get to that point if we kind of start entertaining games like this, and we're kind of content with results like this.
Right.
And it felt like the team was kind of content to play like this. But saying sophomore slump, I don't think is a fair analysis, because we still are only 5 games in to the season, so it's still really early on. And I guess the benefit of that is it's like you're able to kind of make your mistakes, and you're able to kind of like perfect them a little bit.
And look, I know that we're like going in and out of it, but at the end of the day, it's not like San Diego City's mistakes are terrible. Like, we're undefeated still. Like, these are a tie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think we're just really on them a little bit harder, because it's like we know the level that they could be playing at. And yes, soccer churns left and right, all directions all the time. But it's kind of hard when you know the potential that somebody could be, and then they don't get there. It's kind of just like, that's what hurts. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's where at least I'm coming from, not in a sense of like, oh my God, this team's terrible, it's a sophomore slump where it's over. It's just more of like, what's going on? Because this is something that should be fixed if it doesn't happen. And again, like, going into playing San Jose, like, that is going to be a tough game, man.
That's a huge game.
It's going to be a huge game, and I don't know why we didn't make our going into that a little bit easier. Because really, if we won against Salt Lake, lose against San Jose, I don't think it's that bad publicity. But if we're tied against Salt Lake and then we lose against San Jose, it's going to be even worse than what you're feeling it now, when you could have just closed the game out, like we said, but...
No, certainly. So let's talk about the second goal for SDFC. A nice chip from Dreyer, but the ball from Yepe to Pellegrino was really nice.
Amazing, yeah.
That was like second to none. And then Dreyer just puts us up, and we just need to control the game at that point. Just keep possession, but we're not able to do that. And that's what was really frustrating, whereas it's like when we're able to play the game that we want, right? We want the opponent to press us, and, we like to, make those quick little 1-2s, those triangles, everything like that. You have that ability to do that in a game, and you created the situation for yourself to do that, right? To play the way that you want. And the fact that we weren't even able to string a couple passes together and keep possession, like we had a majority share possession in this game, but not as much as we would normally have. And that's what was really frustrating about it, because it's like, again, I was saying that I think we needed a Godoy in this situation to really contain that midfield, or even to your point, a Soma, right? A compatible partner in that midfield duo to be compatible with Yepe and Valakari. So it was really, really, really poor from the midfield tonight. And I think that's where the majority of our problems stem from, is in the midfield.
Well, I mean, look, I would say it too. Like, Yepe has been great, like, every game, honestly, except for this game has felt like, again, also just lackluster from him, unfortunately. And I think there's just... the biggest statement, I think, is that Mikey Vadas always says, we're going to play attacking like that. That style is never going to change. But I'm not going to lie. Like, in these last 3 games, San Diego FC has stopped playing that style. I mean, against Toluca, obviously, that's going to be obvious. But Dallas, I didn't see San Diego FC playing that counter-attacking, only forward soccer. Again, maybe we don't have the full squad. But then comes Salt Lake, and... literally, like, I think one of the biggest things that you said, like, look at the possession. San Diego FC and Salt Lake are pretty much tied. It's pretty close, which is not normal. And that's just, I think, where it's like, okay, where is it, Mikey Vadas? Because you did say we're not going to stop playing that way. And it seems like we're slowly stopped playing that way. So
Yeah, it felt like we were kind of taking our foot off the gas a little bit. I don't know, maybe it's because of fatigue. I don't know if this squad is like deep enough or I just have no idea, but it's like we saw over the course of last season where we're able to have a month of May, right, where we're playing, I want to say 8 games in the month, right? Almost 2 times a week. We're able to have that momentum and we're able to kind of build off of that. So for me, like having like that excuse of like we're playing like a lot of games, like it's just
it's just not
not a
enough.
thing
Yeah.
anymore. You know what
No,
I
I
mean?
agree. I just don't know where we really lost ourselves because like I said, like it felt like we were just being playing balanced on you know what I'm saying.
Right,
It
right.
wasn't like attacking, and I think even to your point, like we're up 2-1. Like what we love is when we're up 2-1 because that forces the other team to come and attack. And there was nothing we couldn't. We literally could on a team like Salt Lake who was attacking us like crazy. We couldn't, like you said, string up anything to go forward or try to get that third goal, which is rare from San Diego FC. And it's just like, where is this coming from? Because
Yeah.
that's not
Yeah, certainly. No, 100%. And then the penalty situation.
right.
This was, I think, the game that really made the headlines around like San Diego in general. How is this not a penalty? Like how Mikey Vada said, like, I don't know what's a penalty anymore. And he's 100% right. And I mean, I don't want this game to like come down to like a penalty and it's like that's how like we win the game.
Uh-huh.
But respectfully, it's like that should have been given. Like it's not even like a question of a doubt. And it's like the reports on like why this wasn't given were two things. And I'll give kind of like one of my personal thoughts on why this is given because I've seen it somewhere else. The referee says his arms are downwards in a downwards position. In what way is this a downward
Right.
position? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just a load of nonsense. And that's the referee's justification for not giving this penalty. But for me, how I see it is in Serie A, this penalty has been, or rather, this penalty hasn't been called for this exact reason. And it's because when you have the attacker too close to the defender, they act like it's intentionally kicking the ball at their hand to win the penalty. That's just from what I've seen from Serie A and kind of
Right.
other leagues in general. Obviously, this is not the case. Like Bambino's putting in a cross and it hits his hand. Like,
Yeah.
what more like do you need to see? Like, you know. So, what are your kind of thoughts on it?
No, I think it's just poor because I think that's when stepping outside of STSC, just soccer in general, like this is when things like this become so like iffy and where people start getting upset at VAR and everything because you're just like, I mean, it's pretty clear the rule is, you know what I'm saying?
It's
Like
black and
it's black
white.
and white. Yeah, like you have a handball, it's a handball. Obviously, some of them aren't intentional, some aren't, but I've seen handballs given for something where it's like his arms like right here and it
Right.
touches, so it's just like when you start making plays that like when you start making calls of something so obvious like that, then now it starts opening it up for like, okay, well, could we give it away for this, could we give it away for that, and then that's when these rules start just making it gray. If it's just simple, then it just stays simple, because if it touches somebody's hand and it's like it's not even his forearm, it's not even his shoulder,
No,
it's
it's
his
his
hand.
hand. Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. And it's just like, I get it, you might be frustrated because he's falling down or this or that or anybody, but in any shape, way, or form, like even if you're the opposing team, like you're not going to be so upset because like, okay, it touched his hand. It's just part of soccer, and that's what it's always been. And realistically, it stops the play in some way. Bambino isn't able to go forward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the ball isn't a corner kick either. It's like it's a complete stop of the motion. So
Right.
I think that you just didn't look into it that much. I think maybe he feels bad because he doesn't give the penalty, the first one to maybe us.
Oh, in the original,
I
right.
don't know. Maybe just trying to play soft game. But again, like this is where like these rules become so grayed out, and that's why you have the hate of VAR or you have the hate of this because, I mean, VAR clearly tells them to go look, and it's like, why are you going against what is clear as day is a handball?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, and the thing
and you
is,
can't just make up stupid look like, oh, but like, oh,
Yeah.
this, but that's just like, you did the infraction, it's the infraction. And especially for him to come out and give Chris McVeigh a yellow on something
yeah.
like you're not giving us a penalty. It's just one of those refs that was definitely inconsistent in both sides. So
Yeah, it reminds me of the Toronto game that happened last season, where same exact thing, right? Handled the ball and it's away from his silhouette. They love to use that terminology. It's away from his silhouette, or it's not in a natural position, right? They love to just use this new terminology.
well, it's just like you're just giving it up to the fans to interpret it now because like now you never know.
Yeah.
Like I like if you like Dude, if you put that 10 years ago to a ref,
It's
like
a
15 years,
handball,
they're going to give it a
100%.
handball.
A
There's no.
million percent. A million percent. So, yeah, it's really frustrating how a lot of these clear and obvious decisions aren't given. You know
Right.
what I mean? And it's like, I want, you know what? I want to get the opinion of the RSL bros. See, kind of, okay, is that a penalty? Yes or no?
Yeah,
You
I
know what I
agree.
mean? And like at that point, like if they're like, yeah, we kind of got lucky with that one, then okay, then that's all I need to know. But yeah, when it's time to close out this game, like how we saw versus Dallas, we failed to stay concentrated in crucial moments, and we concede a poor goal in the 85th minute. And for me, it's all about the cross here. It's all about the cross. Again, you just let him have the time and the space to put that cross in the
Right.
middle. Maybe, in my opinion, Durant has to be a little bit more aggressive, to just catch it. I think he's stuck on his line a little bit. I think as a goalkeeper, right, I feel like Dos Santos, he's grabbing that.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, so I feel like maybe Durant has to do a little bit more better to be aggressive to get that ball. But it's a poor goal to concede at the end of the day. I think we need to be doing better on it.
Yeah, I don't think the blame is to shift on Duran either. I think like it just happens that way. But realistically, at the end of the day, like it comes from nowhere again as well. Like Salt Lake, yes, had been pressuring a little bit, but not to the level that we thought there was going to be a goal. I think me and you were kind of looking away the other direction because there was just something that it just came quickly, and it's unfortunate from San Diego FC to again just allow something to just come out of thin air and just them able to score, especially where we can't close these games out. So
Yeah.
it's just poor. But I mean, I will say like one Vartson does come out and talk and does say ultimately like if even if we won this game, we would have felt frustrated and we would have been upset for the lack of how we played this game. So for me, at least it's still good to see that these players and the coach still know that they didn't play well. Also makes me feel good that I know I'm reading the game right. You know what I'm
Fair
saying?
enough.
But regardless, like they feel that they're not giving their all. I don't know what they need to do to fix it because San Jose is going to be an even tougher game. But clearly, this is not the San Diego that we have seen at all. And I'm glad that the players see that themselves as well too. So
Yeah, and before we kind of close out the game, the McVay red card, this is one that kind of just sent me over. This is the one that sent me over. The lack of discipline in this team is unexistent. It's non-existent. Last year, we were shown 3 red cards, 2 in the MLS, 1 in Leagues Cup, the whole year. This year, 9 games in, we already have 3 red cards.
right.
What are we doing?
No,
You know
no,
what I
it's
mean?
too
Like
much.
that is just something that really frustrates me. And I'm always a person, I love a crunching tackle. I love a yellow card here and there. But when you're on a yellow, to do a clumsy challenge like McVay did, where the Donnie is middle of the pitch, nowhere near does he need to be making a challenge like that because it's not threatening to the goal, and you still have two of your teammates back there as well, and you have your goalkeeper to maybe bail you out if you make a mistake here and there. So for me, this McVay red card sends me over, and we're without one of our better center backs in the next game. So again, versus Toluca in the second leg in a big match, we were without Manu Dua because of a handball, right? Because of that. Now you're without Chris McVay in another big, massive game. So I don't know if we're gonna suffer because of that. I'm not really sure.
Well, I truly believe Ian will step up. I have full faith in him. Or
Yeah.
maybe is Reyes available? Now?
I don't even know. I don't even know.
No, but regardless, I think I don't know. There isn't much more I think we can deep dive on. I just don't want to see the same team come out against San Jose. But again, look, if we do lose against San Jose, like Mikey Vada says, we have to get used to up and downs in soccer. I think that's, to your point, Mikey Vada, you're right, 100%. The thing is, I don't want to see an up and down and see our team not giving 100%. And that's what I've seen in the last 2 MLS games. I wouldn't say the same at Toluca. But
Yeah, I think the Toluca is a different scenario.
but in the last 2 MLS games, I haven't seen that from our team. And it's like I said, I will 100% be fine with any day. I don't care if we lose the rest of the season, but as long as we fall on our sword every single game, you have my vote.
Yeah.
What I've seen in these last 2 games is not enough. And if that's what we're taking to San Jose, don't expect us to win at all. And then second, don't expect us to be going anywhere anytime soon. I just hope that we can get it together, we can move forward, and that's just my point.
Yeah, and you're 100% right, and I do agree with Mikey Vadas, right? In football, it's always up and down. Like you're never gonna, right, go undefeated in a season unless you're Arsenal in '04.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like like those types of seasons are just like unicorns, you know what I mean? And I mean, respectfully, like, again, it's like maybe we need to, fall back down to earth and be like, okay, this is kind of the truth of the reality of our team and our situation. And at this point, we just need to get back to basics.
Right.
Like, because I don't know if it's because we're overcomplicating things or like whatever, but it does make me encouraged that Mikey Vadas kind of understands the gravity of the situation, and Marcus Ingvartsen does as well. It's good because it's not just like us fans being like unrealistic in like expectations or kind of just how we want our team to play. But it does kind of raise a couple concerns. But again, like I'm a very patient football fan. I'm a
Right.
very patient football fan. Like even if we lose out the rest of the season, like how you were saying, I may or may not be a fan of Mikey Vadas. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
exactly.
it really depends on how you're saying how we lose. So it really just depends. But if you're asking what now is just about putting, I think, these results behind and really just putting our next foot forward.
Right.
So I think
No, I fully agree.
in this San Jose game, right? It's fourth against third place. They're in third, we're in fourth. This is going to be a massive game to gain points in, because it's not just you get 3 points, you're essentially getting 6
Right.
because you're beating the team right above you. And I think we're either tied on points or we're 1 point behind them. Either one, regardless, you're gaining a massive amount of points. And that, I think, is also going to be a big statement, because like if we kind of come back from a couple poor results and we're able to beat a big team like San Jose, then I think that's something to really
Right.
build momentum on.
No, and I think you're 100% right. Like, it's just like, forget what happened. We're going into international break, so we have a good enough break. There's no excuses now. There's no, oh, we're tired. There's no, oh, I don't know why we're not back in the same way. And again, I don't care if we, like, obviously I want us to win, but I don't care if we lose against San Jose as long as it's a fully fought or earned game. That is my most important thing. That's what I want, and these players don't have an excuse. To everybody on international break, I hope that they stay safe as hell, because we don't need any injuries. Other than that, like, we need to just come back and focus on it. Put your nose on the grindstone, and shape yourself up. Right? What is it, like? Steel on steel sharpens, or
Oh, I know what you're saying.
right,
though.
something like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, 100%. Like I think the international break, I think, came at a perfect time.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean.
Would we want it this way? No, but
Of course.
but I mean, this is now this is focus time.
Yeah, 100%. Because it's like the last thing I want is like another month of April where it's like we go the whole month without winning a game.
Right. No.
So it's like it's it's kind of go time, right? Let's kind of look at where our season is at right now. And of course, shout out to Alex Westry on Twitter, one of the best San Diego FC commentators from like a fan's perspective. Alex Westry on Twitter, go check him out. He says it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Right.
100% right. Because again, we're still 5 games in. We're still so early in the season. And I even said it on our little clip that we posted on IG, where same thing. We're still 5 games in the season. We're still so early. We're still able to kind of make mistakes. We're still able to kind of shape how we want our season to kind of go out. And even though we may not get first place in the season, the goal is always you make playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
The goal is always make playoffs. You get that top 7 or 8, or I think for SDFC you want to get top 4, right? So I think as long as we kind of just stay in and around that area throughout the consistency in the course of the season, that's all we can really ask.
No, I agree. And look, at the end of the day, we are still undefeated. So I think as a fan point, we are putting a lot more pressure on them, but I think it's just because we know the potential that this team could be. They're not at the same potential right now, and that's the frustrating thing. But regardless, at the end of the day, we have to sit here and give them their flowers. They're still undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
We're one of the top 3 teams only. So
even playing as poorly as we are, like we're still able to kind of stay in a game.
Yeah, and that's important.
Yeah.
They're not throw all negativity. And again, we're at the likes of Nashville and LAFC, and again, our western side is gonna always be way difficult. If you throw us, I think in the eastern side, we'd probably be like second or third.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, so it's just a lot difficult. So a lot more difficult. So we're competing them against the best, and just keep your eyes on that table, because it's bound to shift quite a bit. So it's no worries.
Yeah, especially like if there's gonna be like a game where it's like like one win is gonna drop you 2 or 3 places.
Yeah,
You know
so
what I mean?
that's how it's just gonna be. So it's just, it's
100%.
just yes, we could have gotten first place this season, first place winning that game, but again, this table is going to be reluctantly switching up and
Of
down for a
course.
while. So don't stress, don't stress.
Of course, of course. So yeah, guys, let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. What do you guys make of this RSL game? What did you guys think about kind of how the lineup was looking like? And do you think that SDFC could have bagged in a couple more chances or even put in a little bit more of an effort? I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Carlos, we're at the end of the show.
Yeah.
You got anything else to add?
I think enjoy the break. I know we'd all love to watch soccer on Saturday or Sunday, but regardless, we've had 3 back-to-back games, and I know the supporters have been going out, so you guys all deserve a chill break.
I don't have a chill break. I still need Italy to qualify for the
Okay, well,
World
you still
Cup.
need Italy
so
to
I'm
qualify.
still
So
stressing.
that one's scary, but regardless of everything else,
Yeah, y'all can enjoy it.
go
I'm
to
gonna
the
be
beach,
stressing.
enjoy the sun. It's springtime now,
Yeah,
so like it's
happy
good.
spring.
It's good to be back, and we're lucky that for the first time in a long time, this spring is not full of rain, and we can go to the
Yeah.
beach and enjoy it. So enjoy it, and again, just don't give up, San Diego.
There you go. Guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys like, comment, subscribe, check us out. Links in the description below. We'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao ragazzi.